A real conversation takes two people. Alone on the bleachers, I run my hands over my knees to wipe the sweat away. In the half lit gym, the white stripes on the floor and the basketball backboards almost glow. My fingers long for a fat paintbrush to stroke color across the white backboards. Blood red, electric blue, tangerine, blistering colors. But I have nothing to hold and nothing to do but wait. I've checked all along the sides of the gym, across the dance floor, out in the hallway, even past the little offices holding sports equipment. The lit clock above the exit sign barely moves, and I make deals with myself. He'll come when the minute hand is on the four. The music blares. I can't hear my feet tap. But someone must have spilled a drink because my sandals catch on something sticky. Worry twines my chest, and I keep the unsticking my feet in case I need to run out to find Dad and tell him I want to go home now. I last saw him and David drinking grape sodas on the stairs. Jason will come when the minute hand is on the six. Watching kids dancing, I flicker my fingers on my knees. Some of the dancers look goofy. One boy reminds me of David, his elbows bent sharply. But there are so many kids, it doesn't matter. The other dancers make room for him. I see kids from school I recognize, but no Chrissy or Ryan. My fingers trace a cut in the wood of the bleacher beside me over and over. I slide my fingers along the groove, feeling every bump. Jason will come when the minute hand is on the 11. It's hot inside the gym from all of the kids, and I wish I could get a drink or step outside and breathe some cooler air. But I'm afraid I'll miss Jason, so I lean back, rest my elbows on the bleacher behind me, and look at the ceiling. I imagine the beams gone, the roof pulled away, only the endless night sky above me full of stars. The song ends, and the kids fill the bleachers around me. Some kids turn back to the dance floor as another song begins. It hurts how life goes on unknowing. All these kids walking by, heading to the dance floor or towards the hallway, not even seeing me. I watch a girl move towards the door. In the bright yellow light from the hallway, she darkens to a shadow, passing the outline of a wheelchair in the doorway. Sorry, excuse me. I step around knees and feet, trying not to push but wanting to shove past everyone. I have to get over there. As I come closer, Jason looks at me, his eyes narrowing. Mrs. Morehouse stands on his side. I'm glad you're here, I say. I really wanted to talk to you. I'll be in the hallway where it's quieter, Mrs. Morehouse says. Come get me if you need me. Excuse me, I call over to the kids' backs, making room for us to move down the quiet hallway outside the community center offices. Through the windows, I see the dark outline of grape clusters of basketballs, stacks of pointed traffic cones, and a rack of hockey sticks. Standing next to Jason, I don't know what to say to get started. It's a nice night out. Jason turns his wheelchair to leave. Wait. I reach into my skirt pocket and pull out my first word. Complicated. Jason lifts his eyebrows. I kneel to be at his eye level. I see how kids stare at David and it hurts me because I know what they're thinking. Or even worse, they don't look at him, just around him, like he's invisible. It makes me mad because it's mean and it makes me invisible too. Jason watches my face, but his hands move to give me room to reach for the last empty pockets of his communication book. Hidden. I didn't tell Chrissy everything about you. I didn't tell her about your wheelchair or your communication book. I didn't know how she'd react. I should have because you're my friend, but it got harder and harder. I dropped my gaze to the tiled floor. No, that's an excuse too. The real truth is I was scared what she might think of me, not you. When I look up, Jason is staring towards the dark window of the community center offices. You're a good friend, I say, and I've been weak. Catherine? I knew this moment was coming, but I still feel caught red-handed. Chrissy hurries up the hallway, wearing white jeans and a bright pink shirt. I thought you couldn't come. I'm so happy you changed your mind. Beside her, Ryan puts his hand on her arm. I stand up. Jason, this is Ryan, and my next door neighbor, Chrissy. Her smile slips. Hi. Chrissy, this is Jason. She glances from Ryan to me to Jason. Happy birthday. Thank you. Chrissy looks at me, one eyebrow raised. Jason can't talk, so he uses these cards, and I've been making words for him. I smile at Jason. He's my very good, I tap friend. She looks where I'm pointing to the card of a girl's hand waving. Jason taps. Catherine talk about you all the time. Really? Chrissy makes a sound. She could have told me more about you. Ryan pulls Chrissy's arm. Come on, Chris. I'm sorry, I say. I should have told you the truth. Yeah, she says flatly, not looking at me. You should have. I'll see you around. As they walk away, I open my hand to show Jason my last card. I have one more. He shakes his head. Don't want it. I fold, guilty, until it's so small it won't fold again. Jason starts his wheelchair down the hall. Wait, I say, trying to catch up. Where are you going? Dance. Do you want to come? But I don't. Break dance rule. Jason tips his head down, looking under his eyebrows at me, like he's expecting me to blast off on a wild, chatty detour. And a detour sits on my tongue like an airplane waiting on the runway. All systems go, cleared for takeoff. All right. I follow him down the hallway and out across the dark gym floor to the very center where there's a clearing in the kids. Next to me, a girl lifts her arms above her head. One by one, the other dancers join her, palms reaching upward, swaying back and forth. Jason joins them, palms open, standing there in the middle of the dance floor in front of everyone. I lift my hands and I reach for the ceiling, the sky, the stars, and I dance. If you need to borrow words, Arnold LaBelle wrote some good ones. Before I climb into bed, I circle the date on my calendar when Melissa will be home. I have so much to tell her, not the least of which is I danced with a boy who isn't even related to me, and I liked it. And on Tuesday, I'm not bringing my backpack to the clinic, only me. If Jason needs a word, I'll make it, but I'll wait for him to ask. I lift my shade and I imagine a beam flashing from Christy's dark window, counting the dashes and the dots. Are you there? But there is no light. Her window stays dark, only the street lamps and the stars shine, white brightness. The tiniest knock comes, and my door creaks open. David stands framed in the light from the living room. No toys in the fish tank. I slide my slippers on to follow. In the aquarium, a toy wizard stands on the gravel, his wand raised mid-spell. Standing beside the castle, he's so big, only his pointy shoe would fit through the tiny castle door. Oops, wrong spell. And instead of a fierce dragon to slay and a huge, curious goldfish mouths the end of the wizard's hat, I can't help but laugh. What are you laughing at, Frog? David asks, worried lines cutting his forehead. I touch the tiny frog stamp on his hand and show him mine. I'm laughing at you, Toad, said Frog, because you do look funny in your bathing suit. David smiles. Of course I do, said Toad. Then he picked up his clothes and went home. The end. Tomorrow I'm going to tell Mom she has a point about David needing his own words. But other things matter too, like sharing something small and special, just my brother and me. Kneeling beside David, our arms touching, our faces reflect side by side in the glass. I let that be enough.